Raindrops. Listen, before we begin in the new year, I had to speak to my guy Benzino because he reached out to me due to, look, y'all seen the social media posts, the alleged text messages, courtesy of the mother of your child, Althea Hart. So, Z, there's a lot of things that is happening. So, before we begin 2026, where everything should be new and everything should, start fresh, we have to make sure to address some things so that hopefully it doesn't carry into
Right.
the new year. So first off, I just want to ask you, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, Los. Thanks for asking. Happy pre-New Year. Okay. Happy
Yes.
pre-New Year. 2025 has definitely been interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
And this I know this is unfortunate that this has to kind of go out, but kind of that the new year has to go out in this way. But you know,
Hmm.
um, a lot of times things that's on the internet looks a lot worse than what they really appear to be. I don't This been going on for how long, Los? I mean, come on now. This isn't the first time that you've heard these allegations with her against me. I mean, as far as me being, gay or whatever, like she's done that back in 2020. This is nothing new. You've seen the situation on all these reality shows and everything, because I'm surely not here to bash her because at the end of the day, she's the mother of my child.
Hmm.
And but I've been going. It's a lot trying to co-parent. Um, you know, the thing with it is everybody's seen our relationship on Love and Hip Hop, and what people don't realize, is that listen, um, you know, uh, the reason Love and Hip Hop was doing good for me, and I brought out the Iran. And then, one thing led to another. And then, but, at the end of the day, when you look at it, I got let go of Love of Hip Hop, and a lot had to do with that relationship. And it's like since then, it's just been storms and just all kind of crazy stuff. And and it's documented. It's on TV, all kind of situations. It's on YouTube, all kinds of situations. It's just been a stressful journey with this person. And I thought that that would be over with. We haven't had contact with each other for almost 7 years. You know what I'm saying? I know my son loves the hell out of me. I know he loves his mother. I know when he's with me, we have a special bond. We always did. Um, and you know, he he's a good kid, man. He's a loving kid. He has a great spirit. And I've never questioned her ability to raise him when he's with her. Um, but it's always been a hassle to say the least, just for me to see him. Now I understand, um, you know, there are things about this I'd rather not discuss because it's going to be, we're going to have court issues. The one thing I will say is that I will be taking out a lawsuit for defamation of character for her saying the thing about me and Bobby. Like I don't. That's enough of that. I
Well,
can't.
let's talk about that because I'm gonna put my glasses, but in a text message that she sent to you, I'm gonna read it to you, and obviously I want you to answer it. She said you was actually Bobby V. Please, I try to love you, and I have my last to provide as a mother, so you feel good about me losing my homes. Your son lost stupid. And then your response, allegedly, because I want to ask you after I read
Right.
this
Yes,
if these texts
absolutely.
are real. Um, it appears you said once the court finds out what happened these last 6 months with Zeno, telling everything, you'll be in deep trouble. She said, so did you, lost soul? You wrote back, okay, great. Then she says, so you're admitting you're bi, so you're admitting your bisexuality, OMG. So I want to ask you this for the record, let all of us know, did you and Bobby V ever have a intimate relationship?
Absolutely not. Like you know, it's insulting. Um, it's insulting. It's insulting, and it is defaming. All right, because uh, not even a month ago when I posted the text, she was begging me to come back with him. I mean, I put the texts out. And I don't even like going through all this stuff, man. This is like ridiculous. It's immature. It's crazy. But this is, again, if you look at the pattern, she crashes out on every reality show that we've ever been on. I mean, Althea has showed who she is to the world many a times, to where the majority of the world, like I was always trying to clean it up for her to make her look good, but it's just that you, you can't it's almost, you just can't clean up. And I don't want to say anything negative, but it's like, it's almost like she likes being the villain. She likes being the evil villain because I don't see any other explanation for it. And for her to say something like that is like, it's defaming. And there are laws, and you know what I'm saying, and she's getting ready to get served, for defamation of character, because that's completely false. And I don't see what her defense would be. For her to come out blatantly to say that, I mean, you just got to look at the history and the patterns. And I'm saying this unfortunately because this is my child's mother. But
Mhm.
you know, when you if when you look at the patterns of what she's been posting this last couple of months and how she's been acting, and this is all over. uh you remember the Love Goes show. Love Goes, all right. Well,
Yeah.
you remember Teresa Bow,
Yeah.
right? We was all on there together, and when we was on there, I don't know if you've seen the show, but you could see them taking, they were just ganging up on me. I was the bad guy, but the reality was I was getting the most attention on the show, and they didn't like that. It had nothing to do with Althea. It's just funny how, Losh, you see what reality TV and fame does, or in the want for fame does to these women. And you've been on many shows. You've been the behind the scenes, in front of the camera. You are a big reason why um, Black reality TV and women have intertwined within our culture, right? You're one of the architects. You know the real ramifications it has on the psyche of these women. And when I say that, it's like, you know, the want and need for fame is so obsessive that it'll make you say and do anything, you know. How can you be begging me to come pick me up, knowing that I'm already in a relationship, to come pick me up and begging me to leave the person I'm with and begging me. And then when because I say, no, no way, I'm not doing it. And I need my family back and we need the family back. No, absolutely not. You know, you remember from the next 15, the problems. You remember from Love and Hip Hop, the problems. From Marriage Boot Camp, the problems. It goes on and on and on. When she went on Ayana, I mean, that was the one show I had nothing to do with, so I couldn't get the blame, thank God, right? Because, that's what it is. If you don't take no responsibility for yourself and you try to put it out on somebody else, when it's just you, well, now there's no choice. So Ayana was like, wow. When I seen that, it was like, that was it. That's when the world kind of like, I think there was pretty much, it seemed like the entertainment world or the TV world was like, look, I've had enough. I've had enough, because it's like a tornado, just tries destruction everywhere it goes. And, my thing with Zeno, this is my son. I love him to death and he loves me to death. And it just shouldn't be that hard. Um, you can't, because you're angry with somebody, you can't, keep that chip on your shoulder and allow that to affect the kid's relationship, man. You gotta try to, like, contain that and just let, and for any parents, you have to let the other parent, whoever parent has the custody, you have to let the other parent still get love, man, and apply love. You can't try to impede that all the time. And that's what's been happening. And again, you know, this is the last ditch effort to get attention. She was saying all this back then. People were tired of it back then.
So
He's gay.
when it comes, yeah, so the rumors that you're gay and that you are,
Carlos, you're a very good friend of mine. When I did the next 15 with Karama, Like, remember all that. This was like in the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know me, right?
Hmm.
You could tell the world right now, from your knowledge, Carlos, am I gay?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know you to be gay. That's why I want to, and that's
That's,
been my right. So
that's like
I want to ask you this: why do you think your child's mother would put you and Bobby Valentino in the same sentence with this allegation?
because first of all, she's not in her right mind and she has to say something. So this is the most thing that she got to sensationalize something. She probably looking at the Bobby and whatever situation allegations on him. You know, me and Bobby, okay, used to stay in the same building in Marietta. Bobby was my guy. We had videos together. I'm in this movie Hollywood Hearts. Like Bobby's a good dude. You know, as far as Bobby and the allegations ain't got nothing to do with me. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't, you know, like I consider Bobby as a friend, you know. So I don't know. You'd have to that's crazy. And to say that we're having sexual relations, well then defense wise in a lawsuit, you'd have had to been there, right? Or you'd have to have some type of video, picture, something for you to say something like that so publicly and go to the blogs with it. Knowing that there's lawsuits out there and good lawyers, you would have to have something to show that any logical person with a grade school education is going to say, yeah, I better have in this time nowadays. Nah, man, I mean, she messed up. You know what I'm saying? I think she messed up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why she did it. You know, I'm just saying, based on what she's been posting, she's going through problems because of some properties. So she's been posting that crashing out for the last couple of months. I don't know about that, you know. I have nothing, but I know, I know whatever it was, that relationship was all from love goals. So after that, I haven't messed with her. Like right before love goals, that was it. There was no reconciliation or nothing. And and I don't sit and brag about it to say that she begged me to come back. I know she's going through it. I'm gonna pray for her, pray for her. I don't, one thing I want to clear up. I'm not gonna keep making excuses as things for mental health. People use mental health, right, when it's convenient for them. But being evil, manipulative, nasty, mean, money hungry, materialistic. That has nothing to do with mental health. Being spoiled, not able to take, the no for an answer. Let me explain something to you. You know, when you walk in Walmart and you see the kid screaming and yelling and kicking it like on the floor, right? In
Hmm.
Walmart, right? And you're looking at the parent like, and the parent ain't doing nothing. That kid gets to grow up. And then later on in life, when they get in no and they're not getting their way, and nobody disciplined them to show that that's not the right thing to do, they still have that in them. And that becomes a rage and it becomes a vengeful and it becomes, I want to hurt other people because somebody said, no, I'm not getting what I want. And that's usually what happens. And it's happening with a lot of people out here, grown ass adults. I mean, come on, this is an adult woman. And then listen, this is the kicker. What's the kicker?
3,000 candles. In the middle is a stage, and they have string musicians play the hit songs. And it's a really cool experience.
And as far as like again, we're gonna be going to court for a lot of stuff. So I don't even want to get into a whole bunch of like what she been going through. But yes, whatever facility that she was being released from and when they had a hold on her, I just simply had to go get my child. When when her mother was down there with her in Miami, all right, I got the call from the grandmother, her mother, and said that the police had came and got her and was going to take her to a facility to have a hold on her and have her checked out. The grandmother had to go back to Albany, New York, to go back to work or whatever. So who was going to watch Zeno? There's nobody down there.
When did
There's no
this
film.
when did this allegedly? I'm just saying alleged because she's not here to defend
This
herself. So when
None
did
of
this
this
allegedly
happened. This this
happen?
is this is a few days before Christmas. My son was going through this, all right? And
So
I
a few
got the
days
call.
before Christmas.
I got the call from the grandmother that said, "You got to get down here. Althea's just been taken, and CPI is on the way. If no one's gonna take Zeno, CPI will take Zeno." Like what the fuck, bro? Like I can't even like couldn't even process it. Like it doesn't even. I know what he had been going through. Mind you, he hasn't been in school almost 6 months.
how old is he now?
He's 10. He's 10.
He's 10.
All right. So I had to rush down there that day, rush to get on a plane to go get him. Before I could do that, I had to wait till the CPI get to the house. Once the CPI got there, the grandmother called me. I got on the phone with the lady, the Florida, and said, "Hey, I'm coming to get him." "Yes, sir, you can come get him. I'm the father." Went down there and got him, brought him straight back here. When I got here, you have to go through a process to get a wellness check from the police. I went through all that. And that's where I was. Let me tell you something, right? I would never, ever, 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 ever keep Zeno away from his mother. Ever. I don't care. And I've been through hell with that woman. I would never, ever, if Zeno's saying, "Hey, I want to go back to mommy," or if it's time to go back to mommy, it's always me on the other end waiting for Zeno. I've went to Miami, booked flights, and she changed her mind like that. And there was times I couldn't even get Zeno. But I've been through
Does
hell.
she does Althea have full custody of Zeno?
Yeah, she has full custody, but I have visitation rights.
Your visitation rights. So, in a recent post, she did say that allegedly you are withholding her from seeing her son,
Absolutely not.
if she doesn't deny these
No, man. Listen.
allegations.
First of all, when she started talking that, I said, "Look, I'm gonna give you grace and let them know that that's false." And you know what I'm saying? And then it has nothing to do with you coming to get Zeno because I never was given. She has to go through the court to get back Zeno. And guess what, Los? If Althea wanted to come get Zeno, she would have been on a plane. Her ass is right in Miami with all this.
Is she allegedly still in this facility or she's out?
No, of course she's out.
Okay.
She's out because they're not going to let her with her phone and doing all that. But the bottom line is, if she wanted to come, she's been out for over a week, I guess. She could have came and got Zeno. It's not even about Zeno. All this, you know what this was all about? And this is a sad situation. And that's why I know there got to be something. After all this, that night she posted, "Go to the link, go to my OnlyFans." Like I couldn't believe it. Posted like a provocative picture and said, "After all this, all these things about me and all this Bobby and all this, that night when everything was she finally got her light on the blogs. Finally, she hasn't had it. This is after all that. Go to my link OnlyFans, but this is about Zeno and shit. I'm holding. Come on, man, you gotta. And I don't even like doing this because it's like, man, I don't. Again, this is Zeno's mother. But at the end of the day, man, like, don't you think if Zeno wanted to be back with his mother, he would? He's 10 years old. He's smart enough to know what's going on, man. You know what I mean? Like he's been going through. He's not. It's been hard for him these last 5 months. So whatever she's going through with these properties, it's been a breakdown, and he's paying for it because he's not being well taken care of. And I'm not blaming anybody because she was taken prior to all this. Everything was fine. He was in school, and I have there was no gripes. I have no like she's a bad parent. Never said it. Never uttered it. Never posted it. Nothing. I've never done that. But he's old enough to say stuff now. He's old enough to talk to the CPI and police now. And it's not about me saying it. The whole thing is unfortunate, man. But again, as always, I have to come up here and I have to defend my name because, you're just not going to keep dragging me through the mud with these fake allegations. And then to be honest, I don't even care anyways because, you start to get immune to this. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
now, but honestly, now she's gonna have to, you know, because I just seen that Bobby said he's suing too.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. So, Bobby Valentino said recently that he's going to start suing people for making up these lies about him. Um, are you and Bobby going to file a lawsuit against Althea?
I am. I can tell you I am. 100%. 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, because you know what? And enough is enough. We all gotta be adults now. This is the adult way of doing it now. No emotions involved at all. It's just enough is enough. And a lot of times when people don't learn, you have to you have to step up the discipline. Like, well, not the discipline, but you have to step up the ways to make them really understand, what they're doing is wrong, right? And illegal. There's laws. You can't just make up things and say somebody's sleeping with somebody, then go public with it. And it's affecting my livelihood, my career, my kids, everybody around me, my girl, everybody around me. It's affecting. So I have to sue. I have to.
Have you spoken to Bobby V since all this came out?
No, I haven't spoke to Bob in a long time. It's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry that he has to go through this because this has nothing to do with him. You know what I'm saying? But again, um, she's gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna find out. She's gonna have to lawyer up because, man, I don't see, I just don't see where the defense is. That you just come out and make a bold face allegation like that. She didn't say, I think, allegedly. She came out, said it straight out. She said it, but she made videos of it. She's posted it. So man, I'm saying to myself, like, wow, you look at this, just, it has to be, you can't be this old and that slow. You know what I'm saying? Something ain't clicking. That's just your anger getting to you so bad that you're lashing out like a little kid. It goes back to the little kid. If you don't raise these kids when they lash out and they get crazy, it's going to carry over to their adulthood. And that's what you're saying. But there's consequences. The consequences get worse when you're an adult.
Althea recently posted Benzino yesterday. She posted what looks like a documentation saying the final order on paternity, child support, and parenting time. She highlighted something that said the father is already listed as a child's father on the child's birth certificate. Raymond Scott is a biological father. For child custody, the mother is awarded primary physical custody of the parties. Minor child Zeno Scott and the parties shall have joint legal custody of the minor child, with mother having final decision making as well. She also posted that
Where does
you
that say in there that she's allowed to keep a child out of school for 6 months? You see, you got to understand. Listen, that's the original order, and that order's out of Georgia. She thought it was a good idea to take Zeno to Florida without even telling me or the courts. So that alone, she's gonna have to answer to. You know, one thing about I want fathers to understand: you got your rights. A mother just can't get up with your child and just leave without that's there's nothing in the court order that says you could just get up and leave with my child to another state. But I didn't contest nothing. I still had to fly down. I flew down there many times, have to get a hotel to see him, or I'd have to go fly down there, then fly right back in the same day with him. Spend two round trip tickets, extra money. That has nothing to do with child support. So it's like, listen. Unfortunately, um, unfortunately, this is a dysfunctional situation that two grown adults are having when really they should just be co-parenting a beautiful child to grow the best he can. But this it's happening, and all I'm going to do, and all I want to do, is do what's best for the welfare and the safety of Zeno. And whatever Althea is going through, pray for her. I think she needs to get herself mind together so that she can, and Zeno can open and heartily want to be back with her. Be just as long as because you got to understand is if you think there's nothing the matter with you and you keep acting like this year after year after year after year after year, then it's like you don't want to change. People have to understand that you are never too old to change. You are never too old to change. And sometimes it's mandatory. You have to change. You have to change because it's affecting, man. Like, listen, man, Zeno listen, without me saying anything, because I don't want to disrespect her, but Zeno was, you know, Zeno needs a change, man. And he's failing that. And that's something that, we have to deal with. And it's not about because I'm not, I'm not one of them parents that bashes the other parent in front of Zeno. Like I want him to love his mother. I was a mama's boy. I love that. Love your mother. I never tell him about none of these crazy things, man, and stuff that goes on. But he's not stupid. He's very smart for a 10-year-old, and he's a loving child. And he's been through a lot, and it has to stop, man. Like again, where did this come from? Where did all this come from? It just came out the blue.
I was going to ask you that because what what was your co-parenting relationship like with Althea before all this came out?
Horrible. It's been hard. It's been horrible
It's
since day
all
one. It's
so
been
for 10
horrible.
years of Zeno's life, y'all shared son's life, it has always been horrible.
Let me give you a little fun fact. Remember when Zeno was born on the next 15? Remember that,
Yes.
Lois?
Yeah.
Zeno was born on your show. Remember we went to the hospital. He was born on the next 15. Imagine that. So and he's 10 now. So that was 10 years ago, the next 15.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, and then he's been on every reality show. You know what I'm saying? Zeno's grew up in reality. So people know Zeno. And people know all the problems I've had trying to raise him and everything. Everybody sees this. I don't think I have to keep revisiting it and saying things. I don't like to keep saying it because I don't like to keep bashing, but come on, man, it is what it is. I just, my thing is, hey, let me have Zeno. Let me get him throughout the rest of the school year. Get your mental together, get your mind right, get your everything in order, and then come back and get him and let him miss you and let things and be brand new. But you can't do that if everything's, oh my God, you're keeping my son and you're kidnapping my. I'm not. What are you talking? Holding him? What are you? I had to go. What else? You would have rather. She would have rathered him in CPI's hand from Christmas. Is that what she wanted? I had to go get him. What else was I gonna do? I didn't know when she was coming out. So then
What
I
is your
brought,
plan? What is your plan with Zeno? Do you plan on keeping him until the courts
I
decide
mean,
what to do?
Lois, this is definitely a court situation.
Okay.
It's going to have, it's a lot of factors involved. And, again, when my attitude is whatever is best for Zeno. So she's going to go through the courts on her behalf. I'm going to go through mine. I just want her to know, see, I'm going in there on what's behalf of Zeno. I'm afraid she's gonna go in there like I'm gonna get him. Everything is I'm gonna make him pay. I'm gonna get at me. She uses Zeno to get back at me when everything should be about Zeno. When Zeno's up in Atlanta with us, man, listen, my girl has a son that they love dearly. Like he loves, like listen, and my girl takes care of him. Like he's in good hands. I mean, he spent summers with us. We went to Disneyland 3 times. Me, and my girl, her son and Zeno. I just think that she just hasn't got over it. Like from what I see, it's like she wants to be with me, and because I'm not, then even though she understands that he's there, but she just can't get over it. She's on
You think
Instagram looking. I can't even post my son. I'm just now able to post my son again. Now imagine that. She's blocked me from his I've been blocked from his social media for the last 4 years.
do you
Like
think Althea wants to be back in a relationship with you?
I got the texts, Los. I posted them. They're all over the internet. You gotta look at them. I mean, it's right then. It's there. You know what I mean? There's way more. There's way more to it. But I'm not gonna get into all that. And I don't want people to think like oh he think no, not at all. I'm just telling you what the truth is. I'm not trying to bash anybody, and I'm just giving you the truth because again, it's too much. It's this. She just reignited it out the blue. It really isn't nothing. It's really like it's the only thing it is. It's something for us in real life, but for social media, people have been down this path before. Like I'm embarrassed with it because it looks like I'm back in her life, and I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I haven't been. It's just sometimes if it gets too toxic, you have to break it all off. And go through the email. And I know now she's gonna do interviews because this is what she wanted. This is what she wanted. This is the attention she wanted. Like I'm not trying to go back and forth with this. This is about my son, man. You know what I'm saying? She's already showed her hands. If it was about Zeno, she would have been came back to Atlanta. It's not about Zeno. If it was about Zeno, she surely wouldn't be. Go to my OnlyFans page. Nah, man, not at her age, and not saying nothing about her age to OnlyFans, but to start OnlyFans now and then to go through all this, you, she got um, all this publicity, which to me is horrible publicity, but in her mind, all publicity is good publicity, and just to post a OnlyFans, just a OnlyFans link, like that's, come on, man, like that's what the intentions was. So then that shows this ain't about Zeno. Zeno had a great Christmas. You know what I'm saying? He had a great Christmas, man. Spent time with us, spent time with his brother. I mean, Zeno's happy, man. He's happy. He's had a rough little 4 or 5 months. And I get it. Whatever she's going through, whatever properties, whatever, I get it. And people lose things and people
So
have
when you talk
breakdowns.
about the properties, Althea's a real estate agent, correct?
I mean, if that's what her uh profile is, and I'm assuming, yeah, yes.
But when you bring up properties, can you, in case the audience, who may not know this, what's going on when you say properties
I'm
in
saying
Althea?
I don't follow her page, but now because of the blogs, something happened with her and was where she sent out a boat and some property. I don't know, but she's been posting crazy shit, from my understanding, for the last month, 2 months about this woman. Now they met on Love Goals, the all
The
right, they
own
met
show, yeah.
on that show right there, and they got buddy buddy, and this is years later, and I don't know what happened, but I just know that this is, as far as this recent crash out, is because of that. All that, the anger and the vengeance, and you know what I'm saying. That's where all this started at. And I mean, one thing about it seems like she's not like shy about posting everything. She's posting everything, from my understanding, about everything that would happen. So I don't know, man. To me, all that shit is ancillary. The only thing that I care about comes to our situation is Zeno. That is it. And sometimes parents needs breaks. I'll chalk it up as that. You need a break. Let me take care of them, and everything will be fine. Just, shit. Boys in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I could be Furious Styles right now. You understand what I'm saying? Remember
Hmm.
Boys in the Hood, Los? You remember Boys in
Yeah,
the
yeah, of
Hood?
course. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Furious Zeno, Furious Benzino. You know what I'm saying?
if Althea is watching this now, what would you like to say to
Nothing.
her?
Absolutely nothing. Lawyer up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because that shit you said was foul, and it was false, and yeah, and you know, I'm not gay. I've never had any relationship with any man. Never met Bobby Valentino with any trans nobody, but women in my life. And I'm with somebody now, and it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful, and to me, see, this is what the internet needs. It needs to be more examples. I just seen where somebody had to pay somebody just now, a lawsuit where somebody said that they slept with somebody and they sued them for defamation. It wasn't true. They had to pay. Can't say that. You can't do that. And people have to know that. This would be a good example. Because, yeah, shouldn't have said that one. Not that one. Because listen, I don't care about what people, the internet, whatever, man, but I don't want to see that shit early. That shit is weirdo shit. I'm a grown ass man, man. Ain't nobody dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, Los, I'm glad, like, firsthand how what it is with me when it comes, to like LGBTQ. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? People want really, people know I'm not gay, but they tested me so I can crash out, so I can be canceled in a certain way. There's a lot of ramifications that come with those type of accusations, one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? On one
Hmm.
hand, if I flip out, man, I'm not no fucking out of the mother, or you know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying, or if I don't say nothing, oh well, he's not denying it. He must be like, what, what can you,
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
you
Like,
feel
what
like you're
can
in a
you?
lose-lose situation, but
It's
that's
just,
why for
no, but it's
you,
not even. Know what? I wouldn't even call it lose. Listen, Los, I wouldn't call lose. You're my friend. I love you. You know what I'm saying? You have helped me. You have been there for me when nobody has. When you came and got me for that show, I don't see you as a gay man. I see you as a fucking man, and I see you as my friend. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, well, I understand you're gay, but I respect it. But I
Yeah,
don't
I know what you
see
mean. Yeah,
gay.
yeah, yeah.
You're a great fucking guy, man. And so I don't, that shit ain't that don't mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? That shit is like it's immature. Her saying that is immature. When shout out to Dame when Dame was saying that to Charlamagne, shit like that at our age, you're gay, you're gay. Yeah. That shit is so fucking whack at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like that got to stop. You know, but it is it is what it is. That's what people feel that they can trigger somebody, or they can get clicks and comments, or they can humiliate somebody. But really, at this point in 2026, that shit really ain't it. We gotta like throw that away. Let that go in 2025, man. For real.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're
Well,
straight, you're
look,
straight, and if you're gay, you're gay. God loves us all. You know what I'm saying?
amen to that. Amen to that. No, I'm happy that you were able to, address this. And look, I'm praying for all of you guys because at the end of the day, this is a family situation. I hate that it became public. And listen,
It
I'm just
wasn't that
praying.
wasn't my fault.
No, I know,
That
I know, I
is-
know.
no,
Right, right,
I
right.
want to make
Yeah.
the people know that like this is anything because sometimes people see a post and they think that no, 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 no. I've for years I haven't posted this woman and I wasn't able to post my son. If you look at I was posting Zeno all the time. For years I wasn't even able to post him. So at least now I got him. I can post him. I feel good. He likes when we post together. He likes us doing stuff. He likes seeing that. So, I mean, this is good for him. And all I'm saying is if we put him first and don't worry about nothing else, internet courts, nothing else, then man, that's where everything else would like kind of just fit in right. Just put him for him. It's about him. Everything else is bullshit. Courts, public opinion, entertainment. None of that shit means nothing in a child's fucking life. And it's easy. It's not rocket science. A kid don't take a lot to be happy. He just need love and people getting along. He don't need to see no boat for what? If we don't, if we're not together and that ship done sailed, the emotion should have been sailed with him. And the only thing that we should be worried about is the emotions of Zeno. Like, what is so hard about that? That's easy, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't even we could email each other. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But the anger has to get out. You got to stop being angry with me. The past is gone. You know what I'm saying? In order for her to heal and move on, she has to let go all that anger, all that ego, all that shit got to go. And just listen, everybody listen, who took a bigger fall than me? Who laughed at the Source magazine? Who took a bigger fall than me? You know what I'm saying? Shit, that didn't mean nothing. My head stayed high. I got back shit, feet to the ground. You know what I'm saying? It ain't over. It's not over for anybody. Now, if you just want to just believe, if you don't believe in yourself no more, well, then if you give up, then you give up. Don't take everybody with you.
Well, look, like I said, listen, we're praying for all of you guys, Z, and hopefully this all can just be, settled in the most private way possible. I know that's what you would want first and foremost.
Private. What private?
Well,
Yeah.
no, meeting the court proceedings. I know ultimately that's what you wanted, right? So, uh, unfortunately,
It's
this
the
is like.
architect. It's the architect. It's the no. I swear to God, Los boy, man, Los. Listen, off subject. You created a lot of monsters out here. You don't
I
even
didn't
know.
do anything.
Come here, Bruno. Come
No, but
here.
no, all jokes aside, you're my guy. Uh,
Hey, what's up to Bruno Los?
what's up, Bruno? Well, Z, look, happy New Year's Eve, man, and I hope your 2026 is prosperous, and the doggies too.
All right. Thanks, Los.
I appreciate you, bro.
All right. Well.